the Lost Dogs Home on 03 9329 2755 or visit their website at dogshome.com for more information about heat stress and your pets.
G'day, I'm Craig Lowndes. When you're on the road and behind the wheel, you need to be in full control of your senses. Get behind the wheel after you've been smoking pot, and your senses are delayed. Your reaction time is slower, and you put yourself and others at risk. Driving stoned increases your chances of being in a crash by up to 300%. Driving stoned is more obvious than you think.
To find out more, call the Cannabis Information and Helpline on 1800 30 40 50.
Has a pet touched your heart? Pets give us love in times of distress. Sadly, not everyone treats pets with the same love they show us. For decades, the Animal Aid organisation has cared for Victoria's abused, lost and abandoned pets. They never turn an animal away, but they need your support. Your gift to Animal Aid will give pets a voice and show that you believe every life counts. Give now at any Bendigo bank or online at givethemavoice.org.au. Animal Aid, proudly supported by Bendigo Bank.
It's a simple fact. Smoking will kill you. Smoking is a major cause of heart attack, stroke and peripheral vascular disease, and is the largest single preventable cause of death in Australia, killing over 19,000 Australians a year. Smoking also causes about 20% of all cancer deaths and 80% of lung cancers, as well as 40% of all strokes and heart disease. So the odds aren't good. Every time you smoke, you're harming your body and greatly increasing your chances of dying earlier. Call the Quick Line on 131 848 and get the information and support you need to stop smoking today.
This is funded by the Australian Government Department of Health and Ageing.
Playing the music you like to hear with local news and information. 98.9 Northwest FM.
That's right, 98.9 Northwest FM. This is CarTorque with Matty J. Time is just 7:03. We're your local community car show, which we're here every week, spreading the good car news that's available.
And the bad sometimes.
And the bad, exactly right. You've just heard the voice of Alan, my good friend. He's a regular show. How you going, Alan?
Good. I'm just happy to be here again.
Happy to have you, man. Happy to have you. So we've got a few interesting stuff. That was terrible grammar. Being a teacher, a high school teacher, I should really know better. We've got a few topics tonight, but the first is going to want to talk about my new, let's just say, acquired vehicle.
Acquired? Now, is that legally acquired?
It is legally acquired, but to say that it was expensive is not the case. So, in other words, I ended up with a car. A free car given to me. And it was either that, give it to me, or I was going to go to the Macca's. Now, I saw this car in the workshop I was at, and I was like, I couldn't let it go. Me being a good humanitarian of the car species, I just couldn't let it go. So, I don't know if you've got to be in that situation, but it was pretty embarrassing for the first time I've been in that situation. So, my mechanic was like, do you want it? And I'm like, is there anything wrong with it? And he was like, well, no, it's got a new transmission, it's pretty much ready to go. Now,
so he was just giving away a car that had nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, well,
there's got to be a catch.
I assume the same thing as well. I'm a good friend with my mechanic.
The trunk's in the boot.
Maybe he's using it to make me to go to my house at the front. When I park it there, and people
We should open up the spare tire and everything. Check. We'll give it a thorough.
give it a good look through. No, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's just it's got a water leak which is fixing up before I get it. And it's roadworthy and ready to go. Now, you're probably wondering,
it's an AU Falcon, isn't it?
I wish it was. Honestly, I wish it was. The AUs are like a godsend at the moment. Everyone's loving the AU.
Like a yellow X taxi, just 700,000 Ks in the clock. There's got to be some kind of catch here.
Mate, if it was an AU that had 700,000 Ks in the clock, it'd just be one in. Like the engine's just So it'd be raring and ready to go. But that's not the case. It is, drum roll please, a 1989 300E Mercedes. I've gone Euro, people. I've finally done it. I've gone Euro. I've had my job car. I've had my Oz car. Now I've gone Euro. I've gone Mercedes, mate, of all things. So I can be like a proper. I can't really put in the race joke there because I was going to talk about my own races heritage. They all drove Mercedes. Mercedes #1 car, AAA quality.
AAA service cost.
AAA service, just been serviced. But nah, man. I've gone an early. It's about midlife, just before the Series 2 300e 89 Mercedes. Yeah, you've got it's exactly what it looks like. I think it's got the same wheels as well on that. It's got C3 20 wheels of Merc, and yeah, it's in grey. It's like a dark grey, and it is a little bit of the work. Like the paint's a bit faded on the bonnet, boot, and the roof. But then again, the car is, since, geez, how old's that one? That's like 28 years old almost. So,
available for club registration?
That's the point. I wouldn't have said yes unless it was an AU. If it wasn't eligible for club registration. So, I've done a bit of research. Only certain clubs can allow you to have, obviously, only certain clubs do club registration. And you know what? In all honesty, I found out there's a 52 and a 90, sorry, a 45 and a 90-day permits you can choose for what you want for the club, for club reg. And either way, it's like dirt cheap. Like I think it's like under $100 for the 50 to 40 to 45 day, and it's like just over $100 for the 90-day permit, which would be great. It's a really nice. It's a really nice cruiser. It's got a sunroof, leather interior. As I said, it needs a bit of work, but I've got some plans for it. I'm going to update it with all the Series 2 goodies, the Series 2 clear lights on the front and the Series 2 smoke lights on the rear.
All right.
So give it a bit of a freshen up, and then the old orange indicators. But yeah, it's interesting, man. I thought I'd get your grasp for me going Mercedes.
Well, considering this is, as the registration would state, just a club kind of car where you drive it around for a few days of the year, I didn't pay much for it, I'd imagine, apart from the registration costs. Yeah, so the worst case scenario, if you don't want it, you just get rid of it. Exactly. So I can't see anything wrong with this proposition. If you had, say, spent a couple of grand on it, then I'd be questioning why you have 3 cars at this point. You've already got a sidecar, do you need another one? So I can get behind on this.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I didn't go in there wanting to book another car.
It just happened.
It's just one of those things where it's just like, it's like you're in the moment and you're just like, crap, do I or don't I? I'm like, well, come on. I mean, who doesn't like something that's free?
Exactly.
And like when the car's roadworthy, really, it needs a little bit of work on the body, but it's straight as an arrow. These things are unique. I'm planning on planning on spraying myself, getting some parts they're paid from my from our work, and it'd be a good learning car because I've always wanted to learn how to spray a car and block it back and everything. So it'd be really cool to experiment with it.
And that's the other thing I was going to start on is, in terms of working on a car, what better than a free car?
Exactly right.
That's the best place to start. If something does break, hopefully it doesn't, you've got your regular cars to run by. You don't have to be like, I should have taken this to a mechanic. It's like, oh, well,
I can try to fix it.
Yeah, you can try to fix it. You're learning just basic service and everything else. It's better just to fiddle around with a car that I guess, it doesn't matter if it doesn't end up working.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think.
It doesn't matter as much. It'll, of course, always matter. All the side cars matter. Started a group called Sidecars.
We should make stickers of everything.
But it's something that you can really get into, like putting my intake in, doing other things. I'm always a little concerned. I don't want to break something, or then end up going to my mechanic embarrassed, be like, I did this, because I've done that a few times. Yeah. I've ended up going to a mechanic and be like, I tried to fix this, and it's clearly worse than it began.
We've all been there. We've all said out there something. Okay, I'm going to put these coilovers in the car and I'm going to adjust it for max cornerability. And it's worse than when the car was from the factory. You go around a corner, you just understeer.
Worse yet, the car doesn't even start, something like that.
I've done that one before.
Or stalls, just every time you're leaving off the lights, even though it's an automatic. These kind of things, they happen. And if if you can avoid them on the daily or even the sidecar that you love, why not? And it's just having another car is always a plus, except for the costs. Just in terms of the car itself, it's always a plus.
Well,
I was going to ask, did you bring it, but I don't believe it's on the road.
I haven't got on the road yet. I'm still organising the club road and everything, which is that's my next step. So it's getting the water leak fixed. I think it's the water pump. No, it's the water pump's been like it's a hose or something. But apart from that, she's ready to go. I'm actually dying to get this in the road because I reckon it'll be a lot of fun. Like it'll be just a nice cruiser. Just something to pretty much muck around in and drive around. And if I take it to a shop, so I don't worry about it. Because the body's pretty straight, but the paint's pretty how you go anyway. So, but having said that, I'm like, okay, crap. Well, geez, another third insurance and stuff. I spoke to a good friend of the show, Adam, and our other good friends of the show, Harley and Rob. They've both got cars and club reg. Now, insurance in club reg is not that expensive. Like, if you go to like a Shannon's or whoever, they'll be like, look, I've got this car. It's on club reg. They'll be like, oh, great. So, for example, the full comp for, I think, for a Charger, like Adam's got, he's paying like $400 a full comp, and that's very good. That's very good. So, I'm wondering if they do third party, because if they do third party, it would be like $50. It'd be $150 a car.
That's all you need. Like, if you want to protect the car, if you start putting work into it, you may want to go full comp. But until then, just third party is just fine.
Oh, yeah. Like, I've got the laser on third party. Obviously, the F6 on full comp, but if I can get away with like a car registration and a reg every year for under $200, geez, you're laughing.
Yeah, you're on the wrong for not having that car at that point.
I can't lose really, unless I just take it home and it just catches on fire. And I'll be like, well, yeah, I tried.
What's the engine in it?
It's a 3-litre straight six. It's not the 24 valve, which I'm a bit upset about, because the 24 valve obviously a twin cam engine. It's the old single cam, but the old single cam is a really reliable old unit. So Mercedes have used that for years. It's a tried and true unit. So we'll continue this after this. We're just going to go to a quick break, a first break of the night. We'll be right back after this. 9 Northwest FM. You're back here on CarTorque with Matty J. Now joined in the studio with Nathan. How you going, Nathan?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. I heard your work earlier on James' show. Always good listening. Always good listening.
It's good fun.
Now, we'll talk during the break. So the catch is, it comes with just basic, wheels, like, but it's got like rims on it, and he's like if you want it with the wheels, it's and there wasn't tires because it's got brand new tires on there. I think it was like $400 or so. And I'm like, it's got rims, man. So they spinning, man, they spin. I'm like, that is pretty much it. Apart from that, the car is, got a roadworthy, and it's ready to get put on a club reg. So she's ready to go. Free. So it's not often, like every time I've always gotten something free, it's always had some sort of terrible catch with it. This has been like the only catch where the only free thing there has been no catch. I kind of feel like the car gods have shone upon me.
You kind of feel like there's drugs under the and the car's going to get taken away one day from the front of your house.
Yeah,
just magically go.
You're going to get pulled over all the time. You'd be like, that license plate, it's going to ring alarm bells.
Yeah, you'd be like, what happened to this car? Oh, it was like a double murder homicide.
yeah.
It's gonna have a story, but every car's got a story, so I want to see where my story with this car goes. Look, I might have it for a month. I might have it for 6 months. I might have it for 4 years. I don't know how long I'm going to have the car for.
But you do know there's going to be a lot of KFC drive-through.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like as we're talking about the break, because James and Callum came in the studio. I'm thinking about possibly sticker bombing like Alan said, sticker bombing like a panel or even just putting CarTorque with Matty J on the back, like 98.9 Northwest FM, promote the show. It could be my show promoter. I was parking on the side of the road and get more than one listener. Hi, Mum. No. We have got good listeners out there. They always pay good attention to our show and are always willing to contribute. So if you've got something to say about this free car, send us a text on 044 777 989. That's 044 777 989. tell us if you had a free car. Give us your own experience, because usually free is not great, but in this case, free for the moment until I haven't driven the car yet. So usually this is the first time I've actually taken a car without driving it. I have been in it a long time ago, like when I was like before I got my license, like when the actual mechanic drove me around in it, and it was mad. It was baller, man. Like it's a Mercedes. So
you just need just a shirt with like one extra button open, a hairy chest,
mate, the
a gold chain, thick one. Just
yes, dark limo tint, window half down, and then the sunroof back, and then like some full gangster rap playing, and then Ice Cube, and then you'll be set.
Yeah, you could also have a nice tan on,
Oh, I'm going to get one arm tan, so it can be just out the window. The rest of my body's like Casper, except for my one arm at the side of the window. So getting back onto Club Reg, because we touched on this last week. Funny enough, we're looking at Club Reg now, which is really odd. It's funny how
we predicted the future.
Well, we did. What do those people call that predict the future? They have premonitions and stuff.
Psychics.
There you go. Psychic. Jeez, that's pretty embarrassing. To know what a psychic is. But having a look at different clubs, and there's a few clubs getting around. Their fees are pretty reasonable. It's like an initial like sign up club fee is like $100, and then you obviously you just pay for the registration when you get your plates. So, it's all in, with everything, and like I want to get the lights and then you probably need like little touchy things. I'd be in under $1,000 for a car that's driving and roadworthy, which is pretty cool if you ask me.
It's good.
And we just checked it on car sales. Comparable cars range from at least $1,000 to, in some cases, I guess they would have paint and better nick. $7,500 really.
It's pretty good. Well, look, the car it is a high miler. But having said that, it doesn't leak any oil. It runs really great apparently. So even if I tidy it up when I spray it and stuff, if looking down the road, I could probably sell it for like $2,000 or $3,000. If that's what they're going for. I wouldn't ask $7,000 for it because it's not a $7,000 car. Like I've seen some that are just pristine, and you'd be like, it'd be like kicking the nuts to someone if they come see the car. But I reckon look, I'd be happy with if I got $2,000 for it. I've made something of it. I've enjoyed it. I've tinkered with it because I've tinkered with other cars, car audio, like doing different things, but I've never actually sprayed a car. So this is going to be like a real cool, interesting experience. I might document it and put it on our Facebook page and see the different steps I'm taking.
So have you thought about, because I'm assuming a large portion of the car needs
just the roof line. The rest of the body's really straight. Yeah. Like there's no clear coat peeling on any of the panels. It's just the roof, bonnet, and boot. So, I guess that's where the hardest part of the sun hits. If that makes sense.
So you're looking at, I guess, a spray gun style paint
definitely.
Job. You're not going to try and do the cans.
Well, I sell the cans at work as well. With the propellant, but
you also sell the compressors and the spray guns. So.
I sell it all. Come down to, I'm not going to say because I can't give them a plug, but I can get all the stuff from work, which will be handy because we're working in an auto parts store. I can get parts cheap, which is also I've been pricing out those lights and stuff for it. So, but I'm looking at stuff that for a car I haven't even taken delivery of yet. So it's kind of. But it's exciting times, like when you buy a car, I remember when I bought the Laser, I had to wait 2 weeks. It was the most agonising 2 weeks of my life for the guy to get the car roadworthy because he had to wait for, I think it was like a bushing from Japan. Oh my god! I was like, I was pretty much in the fetal position. Where's my car? Where's my car? Where's my car? Where's my car? And then when the guy's like, "Oh, it's ready to be picked up," I was like freaking bouncing off the walls. Like, I had that much built up energy. Like, I've got all these plans. Super excited. When I picked it up, and it was a mad night. Same thing with the Typhoon. Like, I checked it out on the Sunday and picked it up on the Monday. So, but that Sunday night was like I didn't sleep because I was like, "Oh my god, this is the best car in the world." Well, it's not the best car in the world, but this is what When you're purchasing a car, that's what you think. So, all in, it's an exciting time, and I can see why people buy and sell cars, for a living, because it's fun, and they get enjoyment out of it for a short period of time, and drive it. And so, as I said, if I sell it in, like, say, a year or 6 months, I've had some sort of enjoyment. I've tinkered around with it. I've learned how to spray. It's not going to be a professional spray job, but it'll be better than what it's got.
Exactly, and especially when you learn what you're doing. Flipping cars is, professional people make money out of.
Big time.
They're not car dealers. They're just average Joes that have, like, regular jobs, but they know enough and have access to enough resources where they can buy a car on the cheap, or in your case, get it for free, and then make that into something that somebody is really willing to buy for a reasonable price. And just it's a bit of pocket money that you get on the side, and you've had a lot of fun with it. You had a great experience. I believe my my old neighbour, who now has moved somewhere else, he was trying to sell me his I think it was the Nissan Pulsar, the one with the the SR20 swap.
Oh, was it a Triple S, or was it a? Oh no, you were telling me this. It was like a Triple S with a SR20 DET swap.
Yep, and it was making 190 kilowatts at the front wheels.
That's insane.
As we spoke about spinning the tires in fourth.
Yep.
So I can definitely say he paid less than what he sold it for everything. Like, I don't believe it had the engine in it from the get-go. He definitely did the engine swap, and he would have gotten it for maybe like $1,000 or something. Put the engine and everything else. Sold it for around $4.5–5 grand, and he had fun with it. Man, did he have fun with it, because I could hear him on the street.
Yeah, you can hear snap, like all like up to fourth gear. You just hear wheel spin and limiter bash. That's definitely cool. That's definitely cool. Like, I know, coming from wanting to do this for so long, I've been watching shows like Wheeler Dealers. I don't know if you've ever seen Wheeler Dealers. It's a UK TV show where they buy cars and fix them up and sell them for a profit.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen that one. I think at one stage he called the car an Impreza.
Impreza, yeah.
Like a pretzel.
An Impreza. It is a UK show. It is one of my favourite shows, because they've done tons of really like modern classics and in general classics.
They did a WRX once.
They did a bug eye, that's right, which was cool. And they ended up tuning, getting more power. And
they changed the exhaust out and everything else.
And they actually made a decent profit on it as well after they were done with it. And I mean, if to do that for a living, like you don't take into account some of the man hours that goes into it, but if you're doing it like on a weekend project for just mucking around and getting it on the road and selling it, by all means, man. Like if you make, for example, if you make a crappy $100 win, or might make a $6,000 win, or you might make a $500 loss. It's all part of the game, and I guess that's why people get so excited and intrigued, and they have fun with really doing stuff like that.
Yeah, something like that's also a learning experience, and if you can swing it, it's a good return on investment.
Yeah,
and just one other profession a lot of times can you easily get into where you're going through and experiencing so many different cars.
Oh, that's exactly right.
And it's because that neighbour, he had a WRX, I think it was a GC8. He had it was either VT or VS Club Sport. All right, so he got to experience all different kinds of cars. Not very expensive cars, but still different kinds of cars. And then he was still just making a bit of change on the side, just living happy.
Yeah, like I mean that's a great idea, and you don't have to be like a shunky car dealer. Like I'll give you this car and
no warranty.
No warranty, but it's roadworthy, and you take it out the door and it's just like leaking oil everywhere, and just you end up getting screwed big time by the car dealer. This is like more of like kind of a hobby on the side, like a side job kind of, side bit of fun.
And as you're fixing up the car for yourself,
you learn.
You learn, and you'll make the car, at least as a salesperson, you're going to make the car acceptable for your own use. So like whoever's buying it off you also has more confidence, because you made the car appropriate for your own use. You weren't going to drive an unroadworthy car.
Oh God, no.
I mean, hopefully you won't.
No, well, if you would have said to me, look, it needs like all this to get roadworthy, I would be like, nah, no, thank you. I appreciate the offer. If I had a paddock, I'd use that as a paddock basher. But
that's what I was going to suggest, because I have. My parents own a farm which has a few acres we could spin it around at.
Dude, I'm coming to your place now.
No, I'm more than happy to have you there, because I've always wanted to go around and do that as well.
Dude, you've got a WRX that's made for that stuff.
There's a few rocks there, so I'm worried I don't want to Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I had a car, to just bash in the paddock, because our neighbours down in that area, at least of that property, those neighbours, they have a few paddock basher cars, and they have some fun with them.
Oh, it's great fun. It's great fun.
So I've always wanted to do something of that nature. The closest I get is a ride-on mower or a tractor, and they don't go very fast, unfortunately.
No, they don't. But you're still getting the on gravel experience. No, like,
hit a sheep and just
it's all right.
well, it's dinner now, so
roadkill. Yeah. Well, also shout out to the roadkill guys there. I don't know if you guys if you guys have seen their stuff on YouTube. They're pretty funny. But yeah, honestly, on a scale of like 1 to 10 of how excited I am, it's about an 8. Like I'm pretty G'd up. Like I'm ready to go pick this thing up and start.
What's not to be excited about?
Exactly right. I mean, this is going to be a fun project, and I guess I'll be keeping everyone informed on the show. Like, you know, I'll be letting everyone know how it's going, and you know, just little bits and pieces. Like a couple of things I am worried about. It is a European car, and it's done a lot of Ks. But having said that, it is a proper German-made Merc. Like the door is like solid as. Like you shut the door, it's like boom. It's like gates to hell. It just shuts.
German engineering.
German engineering.
get your fingers in there. You're not getting your fingers back.
Mate, they're gone, mate. They're gone. So you know, honestly, like it feels like a solid car. Like, and this car's from like 1989. It's got like dual zone climate control, and it's got a whole bunch. It's got a whole bunch of tech. And like the coolest feature of it, like I know it's kind of like it's like a stupid feature, but it's got a button on the dash when you press it, and the back headrest just go down.
That's a cool ass.
So yeah. So if you wanted to look like have some more viewing space behind you, and people have been in the back seat and put the headrest, you just press a button, you know, so you don't have to go into the back seat and then put them down. Just press a button, they drop. I'm like, mate, this is 1989. This is 1989. I'm pimping right here, mate.
Does this model have the wipers on the headlights?
It did. Those models do, but this one doesn't.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was like an option to clean your what's it called? Headlights. I don't know what for. I think probably in like the European countries when they got snow and stuff to get it. Yeah.
It's just so funny and cool looking as well. It's like,
it is.
Like I'm so fancy that I got wipers on my headlights. So.
You know what I'd love to do with it though? Honestly, like for a laugh, I'd love to just put like a flag of a country out, like like on the thing, because that's what they drive, like all these diplomats, like Mercs and crap. And I'll just pull up to like to like some famous building and just leave it there. The diplomatic community people can't touch it. It's a Merc. I reckon that it'll be a lot of fun. It's honestly, I can't wait to get started on it. And I should be picking it up either late this week or early next week. So I'll let you know how the first drive goes. It's exciting. It's fun, and it's going to be a cool project. So it's just getting in your hands, getting ready to get dirty. But having said that, it is a European car, and I've me being me done my research about them already. They do go wrong in a few different spots, but this one's had a new transmission, like a reconditioned one. It's been pretty much brand new anyway. It's had a lot of the main issues that's wrong with them fixed, which is really good. So. Just gonna, I guess, keep an eye out for the other stuff. But every car's got their issue at the end of the day. It's just when it comes to a European car, they're a lot more expensive to fix. So, look, we'll come back. We're gonna go to a break. We'll talk about this more when we come back. I didn't get to mention the last song we played. The last song was I've got Reality in Motion by Tame Impala, a really cool Aussie group. They're doing big things. They're getting really noticed. But we're going to go to a song by Bishop called Wild Horses. That was Wild Horses by it was Bishop. That's right, Bishop. Sorry, got a mental blank of who it was with. So yeah, back on CarTorque with 98.9 Northwest FM. This is Matty J here for the next about 20 minutes, and still in the studio with Alan and Nathan, talking about free stuff. Free automobiles, which is, I mean, like usually when you say free automobile, it's usually just riddled with just death. But
or it's a hand-me-down.
Yep.
Or the third option is it's free, but you have to take this thing in the boot across the border
to Mexico.
not
and just drive, and it don't stop if you get pulled over. Don't stop. But during the break. We were talking about head units, and believe it or not, Alan and Nathan, it's been 3 weeks without a bloody radio in my car. I'm about to go insane. Today I'm driving the F6 because I'm just like, I can't do it anymore. I need radio. I need something. I need to be able to hear things. So just instead of just like, suspension hitting bump stops.
I mean, blow-off valve noise can take you only so far.
Definitely. As well as your trips to the red line in a little 4-banger. But, you're looking at a new head unit, and this is going to G me up to possibly get my ass into gear once I get delivery of the next car, and once I realize how much money I need for it to buy another radio. You're looking at a double din.
Yeah, something doubled in. There's a really good deal I saw on, when I mentioned them because they sent the obviously JB Hi-Fi. You could get
JB Hi-Li, you mean, yeah?
Yes. there's a coupon deal that I've been sent where I could get a $350 double-in head unit for $250.
It's all right.
It's got no CD drive.
Okay. Well, that's a bit of a down, but it's still okay.
And at this point, because I've purchased CDs even recently, every single time I've purchased that CD, I've taken it home, ripped it, and put it onto my USB that I plug into the head unit anyway.
That's what the collector's method.
Exactly. And you save your CD, and you don't have to change the CDs out. You can listen to all your songs, when you want, rather than
just choose a folder.
Yeah, and this one has video playback and everything else. All for for $250, which seems like a pretty good deal to me. Apart from, I guess, missing the CD drive, which, considering I don't use it much at all, could be a pretty plausible option.
I was going to say you also have the ability for your aux cable, but your new iPhone doesn't have an aux cable, so never mind.
Yes.
It also comes with Bluetooth, which you can connect wirelessly. It's a very courageous iPhone, I think. That's what the word they were using.
It's an optional extra. Yeah. Like, they're sounding like Porsche now. They're taking stuff away and charging you more for it.
You can purchase the cable that adapts to an aux cable. It's only the low price of $12.
This is CarTorque. What the hell were they thinking? Like, honestly, we're Apple. We're trendy. We're gonna start trends. Let's take probably the best feature out of it away.
Yeah, I could have understood this slightly more if, for example, like their current MacBooks, they're going USB-C.
Yeah.
If this was also a USB-C port, could have understood it a little more.
Yeah.
The fact that it's still their, what do they call it,
lightning cable.
Yeah. Just why you do this, Apple. Like at least I should be able to connect this to my new, MacBook Pro, even though I shouldn't support Apple this much. I should be able to connect it through just the one cable, but no, I need an adapter.
Mac heads, seriously.
Yeah.
The battery life is what I'm talking about.
Hashtag battery life.
And usability, but yeah, that's an argument for another time. This isn't PC talk or Mac talk. But it should provide me with enough options to connect up my phone.
Yeah.
Has it got RCA outs?
Yes, it does.
3 or 2?
I'm not 100% sure.
That's all right. Well, look, CDs are getting phased out anyway. Like, yeah. I know where I work at the Auto Super.
It's sometimes cheap.
It's sometimes cheap in there as well. We sell CD-less,
just multimedia units.
Yeah, pretty much. And they got Bluetooth. They're like a quarter of the price. And and like every company's got one now, and they're phasing out their other ones, which is sad in one way, but good in another. Like,
I think it's very sad. I think this is not quite related to cars, obviously, but as a fan of collecting music and music technology, it's very much a step backward because the CDs, when they're ripped at their maximum quality, are something like 10 times the quality of the normal digital sound quality track. It's like 100. No, normal track is like 128 kilobits or something, and you can rip up to like 700. And it's
in your best interest for sound quality to always rip as high as you can.
Exactly. And so it's like I've ripped music before to iTunes at a lossless quality, and it's been like 250 megabytes of CD.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
But it sounds dope.
Yeah.
The problem is now they're phasing in all this digital, and it applies to cars as well. You're getting a lesser listening experience if you're a music fan.
Well, that's exactly right. Look, I'm like you, Nathan. I collect CDs. Like I buy CDs of all my favorite artists. I'm a big muso in that aspect. Like I will always buy CDs. But seeing some cars that don't even come with a CD player today, like honestly, some cars you go out to buy today do not come with a CD player, and I'm just like, that's scary because I love my CDs and I always bring my CDs into my car and play them. And I'll play the crap out of a CD. Like if an album comes out, I'll listen to it and like I like to study my music and like I'll listen to the lyrics and I give my own personal reviews like on my music. So being not able to have that flexibility, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a collector's issue because most people probably just don't care that
Don't
much
give a
about the quality of their music.
Yeah.
But it's that option that it's like the former best way to listen to your music is being taken off you in a certain respect. You can't listen.
It's very interesting because I grew up without the radio on until I was 17, and it's not like I was, in some kind of
You're the pride child.
It's not related to bad parenting. It might be, but so I really didn't have the whole collecting music and doing other things. I was very much in the age of just rip the song off YouTube or whatever you want, or if you want to buy it on iTunes, you can as well, which I totally condone, buying music legally. And you just throw it on your phone.
From Mexico, yeah? Like over there.
You just, you throw it on your phone or whatever, and then you just listen to your music there. So the whole concept of wanting the CD, like I still would rather a unit with a disc drive, but I'm really not at as big of a loss because most of my things, like I said before, are played off USB anyway. So
I completely agree. And most these days, when we're driving, we connect our phones via Bluetooth and we listen that way.
Yep.
But it's just that sort of phasing out of like really what is technically the best way to listen to your music is not great.
Yeah, and it's sad considering like CDs are like the in thing. Like CDs aren't even that old though. Like to be honest with you, like what's 20 or 5 years ish, and like just to see them like they're pretty much non-existent anymore. It's sad. And look, I do play music off my phone as well, like via Bluetooth or even through an AUX cable. But you're right, the quality isn't the same, and the quality's not there. And especially if you've got a good system in your car, and you're like you want to pump some good stuff, a CD will always be clearer, and it's like
they go over some bumps and it skips.
Yeah,
then the guy with the USB is laughing now.
Yes. unless you have a unit like me where I went over a bump and it didn't work again. It's just stuff for the last 3 weeks. Then yeah, the USB guy is winning.
Well, if the unit's not working at all, no one's winning.
I've just lost. So yeah, look, it's a big topic, and it's. I remember because it's only recently we've got the CD-less head units. I think we've had them for about 3 or 4 years now. No, about 3 years.
I recall when I purchased my WRX. I think it's been a little over 2 years now. When I was looking for head units, I would find really good price ones, and I was like, "Sweet, I'm going to get this." Oh no, it's got no CD.
Yeah, CD.
Yeah. So.
And yeah, well, the first time I noticed one, I'm like, geez, the box is small, and I took it out to the guy, and the guy's like, "Oh, this got a CD player." I'm like, "Yeah, it does." He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, this is me selling the product to the customer because I instantly just assumed that all of our music, and this was like we just got a new range in, like. We get the every year they bring out a new model, and I read the book and I read the box. I'm like, this doesn't have a CD player. He's like, yeah. He's like, we've gone through it, and I even opened up the box. And I took it. The unit, I kid you not, the unit was like that big, like in front of that. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it's the ultimate argument for efficiency over effectiveness.
Well, he's exactly right. I mean, that's why they don't make VCRs anymore. Maybe some companies do. I don't know, but. It's everything kind of has like a lifespan. So like if you like for example, if you say to like a primary school kid today, "Oh, you're not a VHS," they'll just look at you like, "What the hell are you talking about?" So for the next generation of CDs, they're going to be like, "Who uses CDs?"
Like the save icon on Microsoft Word.
Yes.
Like no, you ask them now, it's like, "What's that?" They're like, "I don't know."
Save icon.
It's a save icon. It's like, no, it's a floppy disk. But,
yeah. Well, it's that's in-car technology, and it's technology in general, and the guy I bought the Typhoon off. I'm friends with him, and I went and spoke to. I actually went to his place a couple months later. He had some spare parts for me to pick up that he was never going to use, and I came into. I see him working. I'm seeing him and his kid in their new in their new Chrysler 300 SRT. And they're playing music on the radio, so I'll go up and say hi. It's like, yeah, we can't figure it out. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it doesn't have six. It's not a 6-stack CD player. I'm like, you're kidding. He's like the Typhoon was. He's like, all my other cars have been like the top cars have had like a 6-stack in dash. He's like, this one is only like got the one CD. And he's like, I guess it's a change of the times because having. You remember the days of having a 6-stack? Oh, I mean, you're rich. And now it's just like, 6-stack. What the hell's the point?
Yeah, it's like our it was a Mazda 323, I think it was, and that had a 10-disc magazine in the boot.
You're kidding.
And once again, we went over a bump and it never worked again. But
the CD just went.
That's it. And it was cool at the time.
Yeah,
it was your thing. Like you'd be like, oh, somebody putting something in the boot. Like, don't hit the CD changer. Like,
don't bump it. It might be the end of our radio, end of our music in the car.
And now it's just. It's also, as you said, with technology as well. People don't have their music libraries on their phone anymore. It's Apple Music, Google Music, or Google Play, I think it is. Yeah, so they'll use those, and they'll get access to, I guess, the biggest library they ever can. But they don't own that.
Yeah,
they rent that.
Yeah,
and it's a bit scary.
Not the same.
It's a bit scary because it's like they could take it away at any moment.
Exactly, and I think that's one of the comforts of sort of buying your music, especially in CDs or vinyl. It's like you own that piece, you own that CD.
That's yours. Yeah.
The same thing I do with games.
Nobody's going to come to your house and be like, "I'm revoking your license. Give me your CDs."
Exactly right. See, like, I try. I've actually last week. I kid you not, was the first time I tried Spotify, and I'm just like I don't see the point of this. Like I do and I don't. Like it's cool that you can just look up any song you want and it's there for you. But it's like one is using your data, and two, it's just like, I can't go back through a library and just play, just have it there instantly. Like I've got to go back into it and a whole bunch of other stuff. Look, we got to get to our car quiz. Are you ready, Alan?
Oh, ready as I'll be. Nathan, help me out here.
It's teamwork. To the CarTorque car quiz. Question 1. True or false? The Ford Falcon AU has 2 versions of its XR6.
I'm going to say true.
It is true. It's got the HP and the VCT. The HP had a live axle, VCT had the VCT engine and IRS. Question 2. The 190E Cosworth was made by which manufacturer?
Cosworth or... I feel like saying Mercedes-Benz.
It is Mercedes.
Because of the model type, but...
Yep, it is. It's, believe it or not, the same shape car I've got, but in a Cosworth engine and chassis. Question 3. The new Commodore will be driven by primarily which wheels?
The front.
That's correct.
Which is rather a massive shame, but what can you do? The industry changes.
That's exactly right. Question 4. The Mitsubishi Evo debuted in what decade?
1980.
90s, man.
Really?
It was a 90s car, 92, yeah. Evo 1, 92.
I was just thinking back to my initial D knowledge.
That's the best. We're going to do an initial D episode of this, because initial D is the freaking best. For question 5, for club registration in Victoria, cars have to be how old?
25 years, I believe.
That is correct. Question 6. True or false? The Porsche 959 was rear-wheel drive.
959. I'm going to say false.
It is false. It was all-wheel drive. Jeez, you're killing it, man. Question 7.
So, yeah.
The moral support.
Is the 959 the one that was compared to they brought it the F40 against? Or?
Yes, yeah. And it was pretty much made for rally as well because all-wheel drive. But we'll get to that another time. That's actually a very interesting car. Question 7. The Subaru Liberty is known as the what in other markets?
The Subaru Legacy.
Legacy, that's correct. Question 8. The C6 Chevrolet Corvette Z01 is powered by what engine?
Why you do this to me? LS7?
No, LS9.
Every single time.
You get so close, Alan. You get so close. Question 9. The NSU RO8 or 80 was powered by what type of engine?
NSU.
It's a pretty famous car because of its significance and what it did.
I'm drawing a blank here. Can we
can pass? Yeah, we can pass. We got one more question. Question 10. What was the main difference between the A86 Torino and Levin?
I'd would like to say the... I'm going to say body shape, or is it the pop-up headlights?
It is the pop-up headlights. Yeah, one was pop-up headlights, one was just standardized. That was a lucky save. I'll pay you that. Lucky save. Question 9. The NSU R80 was powered by what type of engine?
NSU R80.
This one was car of the year. It was a pretty impressive car that came out. You don't see many on the road because this technology, I'll give you this technology, was still not refined. Let's look at it that way. It wasn't refined. It took another company to refine the technology.
I don't even know what this car is. I think I'm going to have to...
Just do a pun. Have a guess.
So what's the... Can we have one final repeat of the question?
The NSU R080 was powered by what type of engine?
When you try to say type...
That's it. If I give anything more away, you will get the answer.
Is it electric?
No, it's not electric.
The only thing I could really think of is like a camless engine or something.
Is that what you're going to go with?
Yeah, I'll go camless engine.
It was powered by a rotary. Oh, no. 7 out of 10. Not bad, not bad. That was a good effort. But there were some hard ones in it. That actual car won Wheels Car of the Year. It won numerous awards, but the engines all failed because they couldn't get the apex seals and all the stuff right. And it took Mazda to get it right. So
get it right.
Yeah,
in quotes.
In quotes. Well, European cars, European technology, and it just missed the mark by a little bit. But we're going to go to a final break of the night. I'm going to go to a song by Nero. The song is called Satisfy. That was Nero with Satisfy off their Between Two Worlds album. That's all we've got time for tonight. It's been a great show. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Oh, no problem.
It's always a pleasure.
And if you can find a free car out there, let us know how you go with it. Let us know if it's a godsend or if it's
a running, questionable materials across the border from Mexico.
Yes.
Just let us know.
We want to hear about this. So send us a message on our Facebook page. Give us a like. If you want to, if you've got an interesting car or car need you want to talk about to come on the show, by all means, send me a message on our Facebook page. It's CarTorque with Matty J, CarTorque with Matty J. We're on every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, 7 to 8. But tune in earlier because the James with Me vs. Movies is on. It's always good to see like his Facebook page. You can share. If you missed any of our episodes or any of our shows, we've got everything up there on Shout Engine. The links to it on our Facebook page. It's all our podcasts are up on there. Give them a listen. And also just give our Facebook page a like and a share as well. Obviously, at the same time next week. Also, give us a Dr. Rock show on Thursday night with Fizz Mate Fitzy, the Thursday waffle, and a show on Monday night for your pleasure. And jump on our website, 98.9.org, to see what shows you got, if there's any show that interests you, or if you just love our car talk on a Tuesday night, or we just talk crap for about an hour and just have a laugh and play some good music. That's what we're here for. So until then, it's been Car Talk with Matty J, and thanks again, guys.
Oh, no problem. Yeah. Thanks.
I'll see you next time. Take it easy.
Bye.